Hello everyone, this is Ben the Bold. Welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Now in our last episode we took on destroyers versus torpedo boats. We kind of got, I'm going to say a cheap victory because I actually thought I lost until it popped out and said, hey, you won, congratulations. But today I'm much more excited to jump in and actually try Super Dreadnought or Battlecruiser. Let's actually design a really nice ship instead of just a whole bunch of little destroyers. I was starting to go crazy and starting to get really frustrated with the destroyers I was building. I learned that I am not great at building good destroyers. And I may not be great at building this Super Dreadnought or a Battlecruiser either, but we're going to give it a try. I think it's going to be a little bit more fun than building all those destroyers. So our objective for today is to destroy an enemy fleet with a superior warship. So once again, we are going to be taking on quite a few ships in this scenario. So we have $55 million to build either a battleship or a battle cruiser. The fleet that we are going up against is going to consist of 2 battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, or 2 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and 4 destroyers. We have 2 hours to do it. We have to sink 65% of the enemies. We have to keep alive all of our battleships or all of our battle cruisers. So I guess in that case, maybe it doesn't necessarily make sense to build more than 1 ship. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to leave it at optimized guns and fire control. It's just going to, we could either get $42 million more dollars or minus 25% accuracy penalty, which is good. A little bit faster gaming speed, a little bit faster accuracy, or a little bit better accuracy, a little bit better long-range accuracy. Plus a lot more techs as far. I'm going to try it first with guns and fire control. I might eventually try building just a bunch of battleships, but because I have to keep all of my battleships alive or all of my battle cruisers, I'm going to start out with guns and fire control. Let's see what I can build. All right, let's take a look at this battle cruiser that I built. It is quite the monstrosity. Look at, I have 4 turrets of 18-inch guns. So what is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 inches. That's not terrible at all. I've got decent funnels to keep me up to speed. I've invested heavily in my engine, and so I should be relatively quick. I am only at 30 knots. I think that should be fine for this scenario. We'll see. That might be a mistake. I might want to be a little bit faster. I've invested heavily on range finding as well because you can see I don't have a ton of armor with this build, and my goal here is to just stay out of their range of their biggest guns and try to sink them before they can get close enough to do much damage to me. So let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we'll try it again. If it does work, well, then this battle cruiser was an effective plan. So unfortunately, we actually can't see the enemy firing at us. We know that they are somewhere off to the southwest. So even though I want to stay at range, I'm going to have to move the Battlecruiser Tiger a little bit closer, which is not something I want to do because I don't want it to have it to take any unnecessary hits, but looks like there's some heavy fog or something, but I just can tell that smoke has been spotted in the southwest. All right, there's their first ship. Let's go ahead and fire a salvo. Unfortunately, we do take a small hit to our main gun as another salvo comes in. Let's hope it misses. Oh no, we take another small hit to the main gun. It's not enough to penetrate though, not from this distance. So we are still in good shape. We're about to fire an 18-inch full volley, all 12 of our guns, ready to unleash. Gosh, look how epic that is. Oh, and right away, our first major volley hits one of their ships. I don't even know what it is, but it is going down. It looks to be a heavily armored ship. It only has 1 funnel, but it does have 12 guns. It is sinking, had an ammo detonation. Is that a... That looks to be a battleship hull? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. This warship is sinking. Wonder what our Tiger's firing at now. Yes, now it's going to fire at this other. I hope that they are already 1 battleship down. We sunk it so soon that I didn't even know what it was. Those 18-inch shells are huge! So the game thinks that we sunk a heavy cruiser, although it did look to be the same type of ship as this, so I think that that's a misnomer. I think we actually did sink one of their battleships, as we have another volley coming in. Come on, let's get a good hit. And we got a hit, but it just barely does a little bit of damage. Would you look at this? It looks like we have destroyed their rudder, really hurt their engine. That's going to hurt them a lot. They're taking on water. It looks like the entire rear of their ship has just been crumpled by one of our 18-inch shells. I just love the way this game looks, especially as my ship fires on theirs. Come on, have this be a huge blow. That's good, that's good. Oh, and it looks like we have just destroyed the center of their ship. Looks like we have fired some torpedoes from our destroyers. Good job, good job. We will see how accurate any of those are. Our torpedoes are still making their way towards the light cruisers. Of course, this fight is happening at quite long range. Looks like the light cruisers have seen it and are turning away. All right, one more volley towards the Siegfried. Look at my big guns fire away. And let's see if we make contact. Any kind of contact should destroy it. I'll tell you what, they don't look super accurate. Alright, and there we go. They had a magazine explosion. Look at how high some of these pieces of metal flew. Their battleship is out of action. Let's go ahead and concentrate on the Augsburg. I think they have another... Alright, what is this? This looks to be maybe a heavy cruiser. And with one hit on their... It looks to be heavy cruiser. It looks like their bigger guns are just sinking beneath the waves left and right. They've lost 2 battleships. They've lost a heavy cruiser. Tell you what, it's a lot of fun to build a big ship. It's really satisfying. I may not win this because, I mean, who knows? I might just miss all of their ships for the next hour and a half. But it's so satisfying to have a big ship. I've got it on speed 5, but to have a big ship that can just fire all the way across the map and just be very accurate, destroy some heavy cruisers and even a battleship all in one hit. That is what you look to see from a good Dreadnought building game. This has been a really exciting battle so far. I've had a ton of fun with it. It's very different from those destroyers versus torpedo boats debacle that I had in the last episode, as the Battlecruiser Tiger just storms towards us. 18-inch guns ready. Not really sure what happened, but I just got an alert saying that we had sunk a destroyer due to structural damage. As far as I know, none of my ships were shooting at that. Maybe it ran into one of those torpedoes that we had fired. Alright, and I'm actually much faster. This is the heavy this is the heavy cruiser, the Deutschland. We should be able to sink it. Although that would have helped if we could have made that hit there. And wouldn't you know it, another salvo from our heavy guns is going to sink this heavy cruiser. And so now I don't think they have any more heavy guns in the battle. So now we're really just looking for, watching out for those torpedoes. These are my torpedoes heading towards them. Although you gotta watch out for your own torpedoes because, well, if you watched our last episode, we ended up hitting our own ships a couple times with torpedoes. Oh, and I didn't see this. They had a great torpedo salvo. Oh, did that come from that destroyer? Oh, that destroyer. But they had a great torpedo salvo. I did invest in torpedo protection, which is going to help, but we took 2 torpedo hits there. Yeah, let's blow that destroyer out of the water, shall we? I was too busy trying to avoid torpedoes with my destroyers that I neglected to look at potential torpedoes coming towards the Tiger itself. Let's go ahead and be a little more cognizant of that. That's going to reduce our max speed a little bit. Oh well. We're still moving on pretty well. Our flotation damage, we're not going to take a ton of it. Meanwhile, I'd love it if the Trident would send its last 2 torpedoes. Oh, it hadn't reloaded them. It's not going to reload them in time, but I would love it if we could send those last 2 torpedoes towards their light cruiser. Again, I don't have to sink all of the ships here, just a majority of them. I think it's 65%. There we go. Now they're going to go down. Let's focus on the Augsburg now. Ah, we just missed. Oh, and this... Why are you sinking? Did I hit you? I guess I did. Our trident is on fire. That's not great. I'm going to go ahead and put some smoke on both the trident and the... Oh, and it looks like they're going to fire a torpedo. We can dodge that pretty easily. Let's aim ourselves at the Frankfurt. We're about to fire another salvo. We have an 18% chance to hit. That's going down the farther away they get from us. Did they shoot a torpedo out of their rear? They did. Oh, man. I'm not going to be able to dodge that, am I? No. What a good shot by the Ernst Karlsruhe. I'm turning hard, but I don't think it's going to help. No, that torpedo is going to hit me and slow me down a little bit more. No. Yep. It doesn't do a ton of damage. We do have a little bit of flooding issues, some small flooding issues, but let's go ahead and try to keep the Tiger away. This has all been just unforced errors on my part by bringing my battlecruiser way too close to their ships. I'd love to see these big guns just rip it apart. And indeed they do. That was big. It's going to destroy their engines. Let's bring you around. You have plenty of torpedoes left. And there goes that light cruiser. That's what it gets for sinking a torpedo into our side. And we're going to sink the Frankfurt to just add insult to injury because we had already won that victory. The battlecruiser, the Tiger, is successful. That was Super Dreadnought or Battleship. We decided to build Super Dreadnought or Battlecruiser. We decided to build a Battlecruiser, and we destroyed an entire fleet with just one very, very lucky and successful battlecruiser. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot less frustrating than that previous mission, Destroyers versus Torpedo Boats. I had a ton of fun. I hope you did too. Hey, if you're playing the game, I hope you're having a great time with it. It is in pre-alpha, but you can get a chance to get the alpha from their website. And anyway, I hope you decide to tune in for our next one, which is going to be Defend Your Convoy. Hopefully, I have a feeling this one might be a little frustrating as well. We'll give it a shot though. You should definitely like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.